Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Not the voice you're used to hearing here tonight on LSRTV. Of course, you'll be hearing from Wesley Outland here in just a few moments. As you can see right there, practice is coming to an end. Qualifying will be coming up here in just a few moments, but welcome again here to LSRTV at Martinsville. Virtually a good race is in store. 20-ish drivers around here, I believe 18 at last count. But this is a special race here for the SNB Cup Series. It is the Justin Johnson Memorial 250, presented by Appalachian Hauler Hunters. And of course, we have a little tribute to Justin Johnson, who unfortunately recently passed away. So we'll be playing that a few times here tonight for everyone to watch. And of course, in the booth, sort of, Wesley Outland will be doing play-by-play. He'll be here in just a little bit, having to take care of some real-world activities. Of course, color analyst here for tonight, Charles Wooten, as Sam Dyer had a family emergency, so we are sending thoughts and prayers to him. He'll join us later on tonight for the Northwest Truck Series, and of course in production by myself, Charles Wooten, here tonight. Looking forward to a great race, and again, playoffs are in full swing as qualifying is underway as well, and looking forward to see who can top the charts. 12 drivers have made their way into the final I guess stint of this. 7 races all we have left after tonight, so it's going to be a good night of racing. Again, Martinsville, what a way to start it off. Martinsville, a very iconic track and a tough track all in the same, so definitely we'll be watching those 12 drivers. You'll see the name plastered in green on the left side of your screen throughout the night. Hopefully we don't see a lot of cautions, but hey, it is Martinsville, you never know. As there you see Braxton Deweese out there doing some laps here for qualifying. 2 laps is what they have. They've got to get it done. Right now he has not completed either one of those, as he has started lap number 1 right now. Your Race on Texas race information, make sure you check them out at raceontexas.com, get that membership. 30-minute practice has wrapped up. 2-lap qualifying is currently underway, and of course a 250-lap race. It is going to be a long race, but then again, it's Martinsville, so it should be very quickly. We're talking around 19 to 20-second laps. They should wind down fairly quickly here tonight. Again, Wesley Outland will be joining us here in just a little bit. I do hope anyway, as I am not intended to be in the booth very often, but here we are. So big shout out to everyone tuning in on YouTube here tonight. We appreciate you coming in, and your weather conditions for today, sawblade.com, is going to be partly cloudy. As you can see, a few clouds in the sky right now. That side pretty clear on one side of the track. 84 degrees here is your ambient air temperature. Only 2-mile-per-hour wind, so a nice and a calm. And of course, your track temp. Well, let's go ahead and get that steak cooking at 122 degrees. On that track surface. That is not something you're going to want to be touching any time soon. So definitely be watching for that one. But a hot surface here at Martinsville. And the qualifying is underway. They got about a minute 30 or so before we drop the hammer and we go racing for 250 laps. We're going to step aside here real quick and get you that little bit of a tribute to Justin Johnson. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, a little tribute there. We'll play that a couple of times out here to Justin Johnson. Of course, a big part of the Appalachian Hauler Hunters. We give our condolences to the family there, and especially just in a time like this, you know, you never want to see someone pass, but you know he's in a good place now. So we'll just pray for the family and move on with this race, as right now you see got about 10 seconds left in qualifying. We're going to go to your starting grid here momentarily, but it looks like Braxton Luis is up towards the top. We'll see if he's on pole here momentarily, but I can promise you he is up towards the top of the charts, and no surprise there to see him there. But they are taking to the grid here at the moment. We're going to give them just a minute to get in there. Again, remember, it is 250 laps. These guys have got to get around this track, but they've got to do it very methodically. This track is somewhat difficult to pass on because of the fact that you're going to be running the bottom of this track. We'll see how top dominant it is. I don't see too many passes being done on the bottom. I think we're going to see a lot of the chrome horn being used and trying to get by, as everybody has taken to the grid for the most part. We got a few front runners that have not yet got onto the grid, and they are doing so momentarily. But let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering on here tonight. I know we got a lot of Braxton Luis fans out there cheering him on for tonight's race. Again, this is race 1 of 2 here for the race, so we're just going to keep a close eye on that. And again, any buffering issues, we hope those do sort out, so we do apologize for those. It looks like we're still having some of those issues going on, so we will keep a close eye on those throughout the night, and we'll just adjust accordingly and see how they go. But right now, it looks to be holding out somewhat, so again, we do apologize if you do see any, but we'll let you know throughout the night how it goes. But for the most part, everyone is on the grid as they are starting to roll. As we'll quickly get your grid music going here real quick. There you go, and starting on the grid, as having to do this solo here tonight, a little tougher than I would imagine on row 1's going to be Braxton Luis and Ross Tatum in the 8 and the 21. Your front row here for your team 126 Racing starting grid. Row 2 is going to be Jacob Grant and Christian Gardner. Row 3 going to be Rob Sherwood and, of course, Josh Altus. Row 4 going to be Matthew Williams and Caleb Smith. Rounding out the top 10 on your 5th row going to be the 88 of Matt Dyer, who did make it looks like here. Unfortunately, Sam not being able to. In the 69 of Eric Sam next to him. And then we have row 6 is Logan Brakey and Robbie Helms. Row 7, Evan Coleman and Tom Bourne. Row 8 going to be Chris Smith and Zach Peterson. Row 9 going to be Andrew Cootie and Keenan Massey. And row 10, well, there is no row 10. There are 18 drivers here on the starting grid for tonight's race, as we are just a few moments away from getting that green flag. Pace car has dove off, and it is just about time to go racing. As you can see, everyone bunched up nice and tight together. That's what we like to see. Green flag is out, and we are racing for 250 laps here at Martinsville. Again, if you're just tuning in, Wesley Outland will be on the call here momentarily. Here at the moment, he is away doing some other stuff, as he's got some real-life world stuff to take care of, but they are single file already, and you see a lot of green on these cars. That lime green you're seeing on the front and rear of the car, and of course right there on the windshield, that indicates they are a playoff driver. We also match that green in the overlays so you can see exactly who they are. You got Deweese, Tatum, Grant, Gardner, Sherwood, Altus, and you skip a spot and you have Dyer, Smith, Stamp, Brinkey, Coleman are your top 12 in the playoffs right now. Of course, that will shake up after tonight if somebody is going to plant that car in victory lane. We go a little further back. You finally see some side-by-side. That is the 7 of Christian Gardner, trying to make a line on the outside. So far, not working. Looks like he's going to get shuffled back, because here comes the 28 machine as well. That is going to be Matthew Williams trying to get to the inside. Looks like he's going to maybe complete that pass. We'll see here in just a moment. They're trading it back and forth. But at the moment, it is all about that. Well, it was about the 7. He had him, and now it is not. And here comes Matt Dyer again. Our condolences, well, not condolences. Hopefully, we got our prayers going out. Fingers crossed that all is well with the Dyer family. Sam unable to be here, and Matt Dyer running for the playoffs, so had to make the tough call to go ahead and stay here and race. But we'll just kind of wait and see how it goes. But definitely torn between being here, being with family. But you know, he had to defend his tire championship, try to win it. If he wasn't here, probably would have just about eliminated him. He would have been in a tough must-win scenario. So he is here. And the lucky dog here tonight, folks, that is, of course, Evan Coleman. He's sitting back right now in 11th position in the 51 as he just gets a little loose there. Doesn't hit anything, I don't believe. But running the Starburst car here tonight. We'll see if he can put it in victory lane. But he came in here. Brockton Packard was supposed to be in his spot. Brockton Packard, well, he went off to college. And, well, when he did that, it gave up a spot. So Evan Coleman was the recipient of that spot. So he moved in to that position. Meanwhile, up front, Braxton Deweese started pole. And that's where he's been all race. He is out front leading this race. We'll see if he can hang on to it for the remainder. Again, he's got to hold on to it for another 242 laps, as that is a long distance around this place. Good news for him, as he's got a nice little gap over Ross Tatum, roughly about 2 car lengths, maybe 2.5. So he does have a little bit more speed in his car. So we'll have to wait and see if that amounts to anything later on. Again, these tires will start to plateau later on in the race. And when they do, that's when we're really going to have to just kind of wait and see who has the better car in the long run. Right now, short term, it looks like Braxton Deweese does. Ross Tatum having a little bit of a connection issue. Grant right behind him in that 52 machine. Is Jacob Grant going to go a little bit higher line than the front 2 runners ahead of him of Deweese and Tatum? As you can watch Tatum, he'll take it down to the very bottom. Grant a little bit higher, entering the corner and exiting the corner. That'll be something we also have to watch here tonight just to see how they go. But again, we're still early into this race right now. As you see, let's go on the right rear deck lid here of the number 52 of Grant. And just take a look at his lap times real quick. You see his fastest lap, 19.932. Up there with his qualifying times. That one was a 20.3 or 2:35, so a little bit slower on that lap. So he's definitely lost speed already early in this race here for Jacob Grant in the 52 machine. So these guys, again, fall off is going to be something we watch throughout the race. Just going to be depending on how much fall off they do see later on into the night. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Again, we thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. And you know, how many cautions we're going to have here tonight are going to be something we have to watch out for. You know, we could have, 10, 15 cautions. We could have only 2 cautions. So, that's the kind of stuff that we never can anticipate, but we definitely try to. You just never know what's going to happen out here. So we'll just have to wait and see. And of course, if anyone's not familiar with this series, we already mentioned it's 250 laps, 125 miles. They have 5 additional sets of tires, 6 total, including the pair that are on the car. So you have to be very mindful of your tires. Not only are they going to wear down, but you don't have unlimited sets of tires. You only have 5 in the pits. And looking at the fuel cell here, it looks like 65%. So that's going to be roughly 80 to 85 laps worth of fuel in the tank. And you do have that one fast repair and competition caution on lap 75. Pit road will close around it will close on lap 73. And of course, the caution comes out between lap 70 and 75. That will count as the competition caution here tonight. So we'll just have to kind of, again, wait and see how it all goes. But again, hopefully the stream is holding out good for everybody here tonight, as we are doing our best. Got new software going on here. We got a lot of new stuff that we're working on here in the near future. So definitely a lot of big things happening at LSRTV, and big things indeed for Braxton Deweese. If he can win this race, well, that will punch his ticket one step closer to being the champion here for the 2021 season. And he's doing just that right now. He is out front leading this thing. And it looks like we got productions on there, diecast. So awesome looking ride there, and you know, everybody likes a diecast. So I mean, good sponsor on there. Good shout out to them at GP Diecast. So definitely jumping on board here for that ride. Ross Tatum not too far behind him. That Bone Collector number 21. And we'll see. Again, we mentioned it earlier. We'll mention it throughout the night. You see that lime green front splitter and the little spoiler on the back that are lime green, and you see the lime green on the window visor shield thing right above their window. Those all indicate that they are in the top 12 and in the playoffs here for the first couple of rounds anyway. That will change as we go. Your top 8 drivers coming into tonight is going to be Deweese, Brakey, Tatum, Grant, Sherwood, Dyer, Altus, and Smith. The cut line, those guys that are currently in, but they could be out if it was to end right now. That is Eric Stamp, Thomas Fisher, Christian Gardner, and Evan Coleman. And a couple of these guys are playoff rookies, and some of them, well, they've been here before. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail later on tonight. But again, a lot of guys having a first-time experience in the playoffs, some of them not. So, you know, you got to ask yourself, does that, you know, having an experience in the playoffs, does it amount to less pressure on the driver? And will they be able to cope with it a little bit different? So you've seen it in any sport, whether it's baseball, hockey, anything. If you have those seasoned veterans, does it make them less nervous? Do they know what they need to do and just hit their marks, and does it produce more championships that way? Well, you know, you could say that about Tom Brady, possibly. I don't know. Then again, he could just be a GOAT anyway. But you really got to wonder if being in there multiple times, being in those tough situations, does produce better drivers. Like Braxton Deweese out here right now, Ross Tatum are battling. That battle is actually starting to heat up. Is Ross Tatum going to have that little bit of a connection issue still? We'll just have to kind of wait and see how this one all does play out. But it looks like Tatum's car is possibly picking up a little bit more. He's gaining a little bit more speed as we go into this race. We'll see there, and you can see, let's go on board with Tatum. There you can see just how close he is at the moment for Shadow Racing. And we didn't get it to get it in for Braxton Deweese. We do apologize. It would probably say High Five Racing. That is not its team. He is actually on Braxton Deweese Racing. BDR, so he is actually on his own team now in that 8 machine. Regardless of what the overlays say, we do apologize, Braxton, when you go back and watch this. Well, again, we've been doing a lot of things here in the LSRTV studio that will be debuting. Some of it tonight, if we can. Some of it tomorrow. Tomorrow, next Monday, if we don't get a chance to today. So we do apologize for that, but he is actually running for his own team here tonight, being chased down by that Shadow Racing number 21 of Ross Tatum, and he's just there, but maybe, just maybe, he is starting to pull away again. Ross Tatum could be fast. Braxton Deweese could be playing with him a little bit as well. But as you jump over to Braxton Deweese on a board, you can see right there he's got Chris Smith, the number 55, a lap car, well, soon to be a lap car potentially, in jeopardy of going down, so he's got to be careful about that. You see him coming around the corner. That's a soon-to-be lap car, and your front 2 have pulled away from the field, so already lap car is going to be coming into effect here early in this race, only on lap number 32, as we still have 218 laps to go as they cross the line right there. Getting 218 laps to go. As again, we should be joined by Wesley Allen here shortly. Is Sam Dyer having an emergency, a family emergency, couldn't be here tonight. But Wesley taking care of IRL events, as he has those to do, so they should be here in the near future. But we'll take a look back here at the 52 of Grant. Grant kind of falling back a little bit from these other top 2, so we'll see how and if he's able to run them down there. Is that tight end loose off is a very fitting sponsorship for that 52 car, and all the cars out here running tonight. Actually, they described this car as very tight in and very loose off. So he's literally advertising how the car is handling in the podcast, tight in, loose off. So make sure you check them out, as we'll just see. So far, caution-free, 35 laps into this race, despite the fact that the car is tight in and loose off. We have not seen that dreaded yellow flag yet. But we know we're going to see it on lap 75 here of this 250 lap race. It'll just be a matter of time we go to the drone camera there here in Martinsville. Again, all aerial coverage is provided by All American Pools. If you'd like to join that spot, well, you can do so. Just message LSRTV on Facebook, as a drone camera shows it right there. A little loose for the 52. They said a little tight in, loose off, and he got loose getting off the corner, and that's exactly what we were talking about. Is that car is just a handful for these drivers here at the moment. As you see right there, that is Rob Sherwood. He gets loose, and it's going to cost him, as we got a caution out on track for Tom Bourne in the number 54 machine. That is the first caution of the night, as we take a look at a Pulse Poppers replay here for tonight. And we'll see, it looks like possibly just getting loose. So you see some guys in front of him getting loose. A lot of guys just losing it off the corner, and that looks like what happened here, as he takes it up onto the high side and just breaks loose coming out of the corner. So no harm, too much done, did a little bit of damage there, but he will be back, and it looks like the field is coming down pit road. So we're going to take a quick step aside real quick for some commercial breaks. Thank the sponsors. When we come back, we'll let you know what happened on pit road.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green flag. We're off and running.
Everybody knows everybody. Well, they sure as hell know me. In that mad dog. Look at that.
Look how wide that deer is.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. He's down. He's down.
Hold him up first, huh? Can you hold him up? Son, what do you think about that? Yo, man. Give us a kick, buddy. Excited?
After me. Everybody knows everybody. Well, they sure as hell know me. In that mad dog.
All right, we're back. Apologize for that little slip up there. Again, new technology playing fits on us. The lights are still on the pace car, though. And an update on those pit stops. Your front 4 drivers did not come down, and that is Grant, Brakey, Gardner, and Peterson. Top 5. Stamp did not come down as well. And also apologize for the loud commercial there. We will get that adjusted moving forward, as that was not one we audio checked there, so we do apologize. But right now, it is Jacob Grant leading this race due to not coming down pit road. Again, top 5 did not come down. First one to come down would be Braxton DeWeese. So he came in first, came out 5th. That's not because of any flaws on pit road. It was flawless for everybody on there. And we're going to double file up and get this thing going one more time here tonight. Again, you can see all the green splitters and spoilers there. Your top about 8 drivers are all in the playoffs right now, and they are doing a good job here tonight. And a big shout out to everyone out there tuning in, and definitely thanks for the compliments. We've got a lot of things planned with all the new stuff we have going on. Is one thing this plane is green flag. It is back out. green flag is out there. You see your top 3 are in the playoffs. Then you have, of course, Peterson, who's not. He's sitting in 4th place trying to shake things up for these guys a little bit in that number 96 machine. And then 5th all the way to 11th are playoff drivers. Majority of this field is in the playoffs. And that means one thing. It means you could get contact. You beat and bang. You're probably beating and banging with somebody you're battling for the championship with. That's going to make it real interesting for these guys, as tempers will flare here tonight for sure. Just matters of how much and how bad the damage is to the car. We'll keep an eye on that, as it looks like Braxton Deweese is already on the move. He's up from 6th to 3rd in about 2 laps, and he's got this eyes set on Logan Brakey in that number 2 machine. You go to the rear gearbox cam of Logan Brakey, and you can just see right there, he is just right in that GP diecast number 8, all over his back bumper. He's going to dive it to the inside. Not quite there. Yes, he's going to try to get him here, as you see him on the inside, and he will probably make that pass here in the next turn or two, as Braxton Deweese trying to go and win the championship here tonight. And again, I say win the championship tonight. They're not battling technically for the win of the championship, but he is going for it. He might as well do it, because if he gets the win, he's one step closer to doing so. So essentially, winning tonight could help you win that championship. So every position does count. You see this Hornet's Nest back here, 52 to 29. That is Grant, Sherwood, Dyer at the 94 back there of Altus. You got Brakey in that mix as well. They are just duking it out right now. And meanwhile, we got a pass for the lead. There goes your number 8 machine of Braxton Deweese, 2 points. He is out front, leaving these guys back to deal with each other. As Rob Sherwood got a little bit loose and turned that car sideways, and that allowed Braxton Deweese to get by him. Sherwood in that DraftKings number 29. We'll have to ask him how much money he's won/lost playing DraftKings, as he's betting on this race. I'd be betting on Braxton Deweese based on the stats you have here at the moment. So we'll just keep an eye on that, see how it goes as the battle is on. We got another little battle going back here. That is Robbie Helms and Christian Gardner. Those two battling it out in the 18 and the 7. It kind of fizzles out here at the moment. You go a few spots up, and there is Brakey, who's kind of falling back a few spots. And you got Caleb Smith next to him. Caleb Smith's going to take to the high side. He'll make the pass. And here comes Matthew Williams in the number 28. Just solid white number 28 here for the most part. Very little writing on that car. You can see it says Ford on the side. So we'll keep an eye on that battle as it progresses. But again, they've really spread out. Not a whole lot going on. We did have that one caution of the race so far. And that caution, of course, being just for a simple spin. Tom Bourne just went around, and he is now actually out of the race. Unfortunate for Tom Bourne. Good driver, someone we enjoy talking to and enjoy having him in the booth when we get to talk to him in post-race for sure. But again, the battle is still on. Matthew Williams and Jacob Grant. Those are the 2 that are still duking this one out. Grant looks like he's going to be falling back, so obviously something not right is going to miss on that 52 machine of Grant, as he just continues to slide through this field. And again, we got one going around. Hang on, we'll get to that one. Logan Brakey, I do believe it is. Yes, in the 2 machine, goes around to bring out caution number 2, and almost clipped somebody if he didn't. Trying to back up as we go to our second Pulse Poppers replay of the night. And we'll see what happened here to Logan Brakey. My guess is he just brokey right around the corner. Here just a bit. You'll see again, maybe he had help from the 18. We'll look and see, but I think he may have just got loose. No, he had help from the 18 of Williams. Williams gives him a little shot in the corner. I wouldn't call it dirty. It was definitely a racing deal possibly. And right there, yes, he does clip him of Smith, but just a little slight tap. And we know these cars are loose off, and being loose off when someone gives you a tap to the rear of the car, that is a no-no spot in these cars. You do not bump someone in the corner, but again, we're not saying he did it on purpose. I don't think he did. I think it was just, maybe got in a little hot into the corner and didn't no Breaky was going to be checking up as much as he was. Regardless of what happened, again, it just looked like a little bit of a racing deal. As Braxton DeWeese still your race leader, and looks like we're going to have Chris Smith getting a wave around, getting one of his laps back, and that'll put him back on the lead lap. So as of right now, everyone on the lead lap except for Tom Bourne, who was out of the race, unfortunately, a little earlier than I'm sure he wanted to. Sometimes that is how the cookie crumbles, and it's just happens that way. But we'll see. Again, Braxton DeWeese, clearly the short-term fast runner. Can he continue that into the long run? We did see about a 45 lap long run, and he was out front then, so it looks like he has the long run speed and the short run speed to put it in victory lane here tonight. All right, getting a quick little drink of coffee here so we can stay awake for the late night broadcast. Coming up later tonight, we do, of course, have the Northwest Truck Series. If everything goes to plan, we're going to be debuting some new stuff for that race. And, of course, on Friday, you have the LTAC Series with Carlos in production. And I believe Wesley will not be here for that one. Sam should be. We'll see who's going to be in the booth with Sam for later on. For that one, and then of course coming up, we start all over again on Monday with the Northwest Cup Series. Make sure you tune in for that race, as we definitely will be showing off some new stuff then, and then we redo it again on Wednesday with the SNB Cup Series, round number 2 of the playoffs, and then of course your Northwest Truck Series. Once again, that is wrapping up the week. Just a quick note, if you are a league out there looking for a broadcast, we do have openings on Tuesdays and Thursdays here at the moment. So definitely hit us up as the green flag is back out once again, and we are racing. Deweese quickly gonna make work of Rob Sherwood as he's gonna squeeze by him. We'll see if Rob Sherwood can do anything. The caution is out very quickly this time, and it looks like it's gonna be for 2 cars, Matt Dyer and Matthew Williams, this time bringing out the 3rd caution of the night and our 3rd Pulse Poppers instant replay. Well, again, this one coming out right on the start of the race. We'll wait and see how it all goes down. There you see right there, the 94 of Josh Altus gets a little loose. I don't know if that had anything. Yes, he gets right into Matt Dyer and spins him around, and there, the 28 really just an innocent bystander. Again, the 94 of Joshua Altus getting into the 88 of Matt Dyer. We'll see. Take a quick look here. We'll look at the drone camera and see if we can get a better angle of it. You know, we can't tell without looking at the attacks there. Did possibly the 88 check up a little bit? It did any contact prior to that take place. We'll see right here. You see him get loose, and he gets real close to him. Maybe that scared the 8 a little bit, and we'll see right there. He just doesn't check up enough and gets into him, and around goes the 88 at the hands of the 94 of Josh Altus. Again, looks like just a racing deal, so we'll get off that drone camera for a moment, and you see they're filled right now. A few more in the pits, as Matt Dyer is going to make his way down pit road along with Matthew Williams coming in. It looks like Josh Altus not coming in. He is going to stay out on the track, and I don't see too much damage to that number 29 machine. So he's just going to, 29, 94 machine. So I think he's good to go. Maybe a little wrinkle to the front, but nothing major as we're out. One more time to take a quick step away. Take a quick sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see how it all plays out here tonight. Is Braxton DeWeese out front, followed by Sherwood, Coleman, Tatum, Smith are your top five. Grant, Peterson, Massey, Gardner, and Chris Smith, Papa Smith as they call him, rounding out your top 10. Again, we'll just keep an eye on this field. Pace car is going to dive off as we'll get up and close personal with these guys as the green flag just about ready to come back out. And Braxton Weiss loud on that loud pedal. He is hard on the loud pedal. We are racing here again. Again, we got Starburst battling there. It's unexplainably juicy. We'll see if he can put that 51 machine in victory lane. Rob Sherwood now under fire on the outside lane, and that is not the lane you want to be in here for tonight. So again, issues for the 29. If he gets on that outside lane, he needs to get back in as quickly as he can. He might have a shot to do it here as he is side by side. Again, outside lane, not the lane that you would like to be in. We are 68 laps in, 183 to go, and there you see Rob Sherwood going up high. Oh, and he collects Caleb Smith, and caution is out. A hard lick for Caleb Smith here tonight. As again, that was just a hard lick. We'll go look at it again on the Pulse Poppers instant replay. And again, Rob Sherwood just having an ill-handling car, hits the wall and comes down and collects the 12 of Caleb Smith. You'll see right here, just again, this car just not handling the way he wants it to. He's already right there. He gets loose. He has to slide up and gets in, and I'm going to get you. He gets loose again. He does. He doesn't actually hit the wall. Correction on there, but he does get loose and just door slams the 12 of Caleb Smith. So Caleb Smith going to be stuck on the track here at the moment. So unfortunate for Caleb Smith. We got a few takers coming down pit road. Looks like Peterson coming down. He's got damage on that machine. So a few in the back as well. Josh Altz is coming down. Caleb Smith and also Chris Smith coming down. So cars with damage coming down for the most part. Your front runners are staying out and not coming down. On a quick note here, that caution coming out would probably count as a competition caution because it did come on lap 70, I do believe. Let me see if we can check our events here and see when that did come out officially. If it came out on 69, it shouldn't count. We're going to have to check and see when it actually came out. And I'm not seeing, we're trying to find it in our thing here. So regardless of that, we'll try to keep an eye on it. If the caution does come out on lap 75, which I don't think it's going to because that one came out on lap 70, I do believe, then it would count as a competition caution. And we're just going to go ahead and say it is. I don't think it's, anyway, it's not. The pits would be closed right now. We're not going to go racing till lap 75. So we're going to say this is indeed the competition caution that normally would have come out on lap 75. Pits would have closed on lap 73 right now. So we're actually going to go racing here to start lap 75 when the competition caution would have came out otherwise. So that's something to note there, that the competition caution that we would have seen at this point is not going to happen due to the fact, well, we just had it. Two cars getting together with Rob Sherwood in the 29, collecting the 12 of Chris Smith. Both of them still on track as we are set to go side by side one more time here for the green flag. So green flag is out, and already we get a caution coming out, and we're going to wad the field up. The 51, the Starburst, unexplainably juicy, collecting, it looks like the 28 of Williams. We'll go back and take a look. Another Poppers instant replay with the fourth caution here tonight. Cautions, breeding cautions here at Martinsville. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. As this one going to be towards the front, the 51 really of Evan Coleman, who just got into the playoffs by the skin of his teeth and a little bit of luck. Spins it sideways, collects the 21, the 28. Looks like the 88, and also a little bit of the 94 collecting in that one. So multiple cars involved. Just a bad deal if you're that 51 of Evan Coleman. Just spun the tires, essentially got it going, and the car just did not go like he wanted it to, and around it went, bringing out the fourth caution here of the night. Again, regardless if that was going to be our competition caution or not, well, we just got another one anyway. So caution coming out here on lap 75 for this race for the fourth time, and Braxton DeWeese coming down, and he's going to have a few takers. Looks like Ross Tatum and a few others going to be coming down, and it looks like Christian Gardner going to stay out and play some games with these guys. We'll see what kind of head games and trickery he's playing out there on the track with Christian Gardner. Of course, he's got about 20 laps on those tires, so they're not going to be the freshest of tires, but they're not super old either. But if I'm playing the betting game, I'm coming down for tires right now, and it looks like Braxton Deweese, yes, he's going to at least take right side tires. Will he take left side? Yeah, I think he will. Yes, he does. So tires going around for the guys on pit road. So that will be, again, they only have 5 sets in the pits, minus the 6 sets if you include the one that are on the car they start the race with, and most of those have been changed out. So some of these guys may have 4 sets left. Some of them may only have 3 sets left, just depending on what they've taken. And that's going to put Braxton Deweese back in 10th place now on the track. Christian Gardner going to be your leader at the moment, followed by Zach Peterson, Eric Stamp, Josh Altus, and Chris Smith, who we saw a lap down not too long ago, sitting in the top 5. So good job, Chris Smith, to rebound there from a lap down or more to a top 5 right now, followed by Grant, Sherwood, Massey, and Brakey and Deweese, your top 10, as the caution lights should go off this time by, as you see the flagman holding the flag, not waving it, and the lights do go off. All right, green flag back in the air one more time. We'll see how this one goes as we're going to see stacking them up 3 wide, going into the corner. That usually does not work out. Sherwood is the little sucker hole there, 3 wide if he was a super speedway track. Oh, and a little rubbing there. Chris Smith gets into Rob Sherwood. That's going to push him back just a little bit, and they're going to stack him up towards the back of the field. You got Deweese back there. He needs to keep it clean with these guys. He does not want to get mixed up in their battles. And we'll see if he does get by the 12. That is the father and son, Smith, Chris and Caleb, that he's got to get around. He's got Rob Sherwood behind him. And, man, I don't know if he was going down to his line anyway or if the 12 is just blocking very, very aggressively. We'll see. Either way, these guys are both in the playoffs. So if the 12 is blocking a little bit, well, that just may be how it's going to be, because he is definitely going to be blocking for every position he can. And that, again, is just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And looks like I can see Wesley Allen. Y'all can't see him, but I can see him. He's going to be here in muting his team speak here in just a minute, and we'll unmute him in the call like we just did. So, Wesley, welcome to the race.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I had some other broadcast obligations calling my first ever soccer game, but I thought I did a pretty damn good job. But anyhow, it's playoffs here for the SNB Cup Series presented by Appalachian Hauler Hunters. You see the drivers in the green bars. They are in the playoffs. We're on lap number 84 of 250. And how about this, Charles? Christian Gardner, the man out in front, he's got a shot to win this race, but there's still a long way to go here at the Paperclip Martinsville.
Yeah, we've been doing fairly good here, so hopefully I didn't jinx it while you were gone. But, we've only had 5 cautions. One of those is a competition caution, which actually was a caution anyway. But we've only had 5 cautions in 85 laps. We're doing fairly good. And to note here, he's kind of falling back now, but Chris Smith, who's sitting in 10th, was actually up to 5th place after being a lap down early in this race, so he's doing good. But yeah, Christian Gardner, Eric Stamp, these guys doing good as we're already wadding them up again.
Oh, we got trouble. Trouble up in turns number 3 and 4, and that's Zachary Peterson going around in the number 96 machine. Caution coming out in the 3rd and 4th turn, just below the tunnel turn, if you will. Or actually, it's really not a tunnel turn at Martinsville. It's actually just a crossover area. And we're going to see what happened to Zachary Peterson, the Poltz Popper Fishing Lure Instant Replay. You got Keenan Massey right behind him in the number 4. And Massey in the 96 right there. Single file. Massey might have hooked he got there to the left rear and turned Peterson around into the wall. And that's what happened to the driver of Zachary Peterson. So we are under the yellow flag. 88 of 250 laps. And again, Charles, you think anybody's coming down to the pit lane for service, you think?
We just had a caution, no more than, I would say, a few laps ago. So the front runners, I don't think will. We do have some coming down. I'm really kind of shocked to see Braxton Deweese come down because he had fairly fresh tires. It looks like maybe he's just going to take fuel here. I don't see him taking one of his sets of tires. And, I wouldn't come down either if I'm one of these guys. Wesley, you only have 5 sets of tires on the car. So, you keep taking tires. Eventually, you're going to go down pit road. Then they're going to be like, sorry, we're eating ice cream. We don't have any tires for you.
You only have a certain fuel window, and the tires that are available as well. Of course, 4 sets plus the original set you took the green flag on in qualifying, as well as for the start of this event. 250 laps. This is lap 89 of 250. Charles Wooten, thank you for filling in for my absence. I'm Wesley Outland. I had other broadcast obligations calling my first ever soccer game. I go from a soccer game to an esports race, and I'm used to this. I'm back in my wheelhouse again.
Yes, this is definitely his wheelhouse. I've heard you call many races on different stuff, but never heard you call soccer, so I may have to go find where this broadcast is and watch it. But I've done photos of soccer before, and that was difficult enough. I don't know about calling it.
Well, just go to CRN Sports and on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. By the way, tonight, 11:30 Eastern Time, we'll have coverage on the Community Radio Network for the radio call, as well as the LSRTV coverage of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. Tonight is the Copper World Classic LSRTV 200. Another 140-lap contest for the trucks, and let's see if anybody's going to take the wave around. The lights are off on the pace car. Looks like everybody is happy where they are, and we'll get ready to go back for the restart. It'll be lap number 91 complete when they take the green flag on lap 92 when they come back to the Geico restart zone. Christian Gardner, his Toyota, is currently the man out in front. He is leading the way. What a great run for him. Eric Stamp in second, Joshua Altus third, Jacob Grant fourth, Keenan Massey in the top 5 as the pace car dives onto the pit lane in turn 3. It's left to the front row. Here they come with Gardner and Stamp, and Gardner gets a great jump, maybe some wheel spin on Stamp's car. Green flag goes back in the air, and we've got 4 cars. Oh, Stamp's into Grant! Getting into Jacob Grant, got in, Stamp. Restart. I talked about tire spin, and I think that's the cause of what happened there.
Yeah, I definitely think you agree, but, you know, Wesley, we'll find out because the Pulse Popper gets the replay coming back to us once again, and definitely go check them out. It is hotter than snot outside, so you can get you some Pulse Poppers. Go fishing. Go take a break. Well, we can't. We have to work, but they can. We'll
Pulse
see.
Popper, Fisher, instant replay. Let's watch it. Remember, as I said, Charles, there's that tire spin, and it blocked the path behind him, behind Stamp, and then Stamp and Altus got together, and then Grant came in there and put in that final blow. Looks like Caleb Smith got some damage on the number 12 Ford. And what could have been possibly more cars caught up in that accident is a single car spin for the Mountain Dew number 69 of Eric Stamp, and we go quickly back under the yellow flag. We'll take a quick break as we approach lap 100. We're going to go to a commercial break. Your saw blade top 5. There they are on the top left of the monitor. As no change of Christian Gardner. Can he finally win and win in the playoffs? Back with more LSR TV's coverage of the SNB Cup Series.
Everybody knows everybody. Well, they sure as hell know me. In that mad dog.
Look at that. Look how wide that deer is. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's down. He's down.
Hold him up first, huh? Can you hold him up? Son, what do you think about that? Dylan, do it again, buddy. Excited?
After me.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
And our thoughts and prayers are with the entire family of Justin Johnson and the Appalachian Hauler Hunters SNB Cup Series community. Godspeed. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, everybody, for watching. The lights are off on the pace car. We'll get ready to go back for the restart. We're closing in on 100. Still there's, 150 laps left to go after this one. As a matter of fact, 153 laps to be exact. Well, lap 125 will be halfway. Opening race of the playoffs in the SNB Cup Series for Season 3. Christian Gardner back to the Geico restart zone. A little punt by Grant. He'll scamper from the field. Green flag back in the air. They'll send it back to turn 1.
Yeah, racing back underway. And Wesley, while this race gets back underway, hopefully we don't have another quick caution. I just want to say one thing. I do not envy your job at all of being an announcer. I'll be glad to be back behind in the production booth, in tower, trailer, whatever we call it, after this race is over, because I don't like your job. I like my job better.
Inside and outside, Gardner leading, Altus in second, Grant third. I always thought you did a pretty damn good job calling races, so I enjoy working with you when we can. By the way, my colleague Samuel Dyer had a family emergency, and that's why he was not able to join Charles tonight. I had other broadcast obligations, and as soon as that soccer game, 3-0 win for Clayton, you heard on the Community Radio Network, finished up, I had to pack up, hightail it here. And 100 laps complete this time by. Look at the hard racing. Altus changing his colors on his car, battling with Jacob Grant. 3 cars in the playoffs, battling. Massey on the outside looking in fourth spot, ironically, in car 4.
Had definitely a good battle going on. And again, this is all playoff drivers, all battling for the top 3 positions. Massey obviously not in it. So these guys are duking it out right now. And I saw a comment a little while ago said from Keith Bradley, said we need to get Nazareth back on LSRTV. I agree. We need to get a lot of people on LSRTV because, well, we got a lot of things going on. A lot of changes, a lot of cool stuff. If you're looking to get your league on a top channel that is always expanding and growing, now's the time to do it.
Hey, and by the way, tonight, for the Northwest Truck Series event, you're going to see a little sample of what we have been working on that we were just referring to. So I'm looking forward to that. You're going to be able to see some cool things. I'm not going to unveil what they are, but you got to tune into the broadcast tonight around 11:35 Eastern Time. It'll also be on CRN as well. A lot of cool gadgets and bells and whistles we've been working on. We're excited about it.
Yes.
I think it's just taking things to the next level.
We won't unveil everything, but I can tell you this. A lot of money was spent at B&H Photo, Amazon, and Best Buy in the last 30 days. So if that gives you any idea of what's going down, it's going to be big.
Battle big for the lead. Grant on the inside, battling with Christian Gardner. Gardner opens the door on the bottom, and Grant slips. A little loose there for a moment.
Yeah, Wesley
holding on to that top spot.
I talked to these drivers prior to coming in here. You know, you see right there, tight in, loose off podcast on that car as the caution is out. And that's exactly what they said. This car is tight in and loose off. So a no more fitting sponsor for tonight as the caution is out here one more time. And this time looks to be Chris Smith in that 55 machine.
Yellow flag waves again. Caution out, waving here in the Justin Johnson Memorial. 250 at Martinsville, lap 107 at 250, and look, this is what happened. Up the racetrack, Chris Smith. And Smith losing it right there off of turn 4, the AZ wire and cable entry. Chevrolet putting us under the yellow flag.
And Wesley, get your thoughts. You see this track, how it's the lighter and the darker. You know this track better than I do. Is that 2 different types of pavement? Is one concrete and one asphalt?
Yes, that's concrete. That's concrete. That's why they call it the paperclip. It is a concrete in the corners, pavement on the straightaways. It's pavement asphalt on the straightaways. On the corners, it is concrete. You notice where that transition changes, where they exit out at turn 2. From 1 to 2, 3 to 4, that is pavement that they're going on. This is pavement, and then they go right into 3, and there you see the opening where concrete's at as Chris Smith comes onto the pit lane.
Yeah, it's interesting. The reason I brought that up is because Rob Sherwood earlier in the race, right there where it's darker up at the top and it goes to the light, we've seen 2 to 3 drivers now that got up into that top part where it's darker and have spun the car around coming out of the corner. We knew it was loose, but we've seen multiple cars that were up high come out of that corner and spin that car out. Last time, Rob Sherwood did it and collected the son of Chris Smith, Caleb Smith, in the 12 and just door slammed him right into the wall.
Yeah, keeping an eye on that. We'll watch that as we get ready to see more cars coming down onto the pit lane for work. As we have now 141 laps to go. We're on lap 108. Let's give you your full field rundown here as we're under yellow flag. In the Justin Johnson Memorial at Martinsville, Christian Gardner leading the way. Jacob Grant is in that second spot. Joshua Altus third. Keenan Massey is fourth, and Matt Dyer the top 5. Logan Brakey is sixth. Caleb Smith is seventh. Matthew Gilliams eighth. Zach Peterson ninth, and Evan Coleman, Charles, your top 10. here at the paperclip as we give the full field rundown under yellow.
Yeah, just behind him is going to be 18 of Robbie Helms. Ross Tatum, he started a little higher than he wanted to on outside pole. He is back way mired in this field. Braxton DeWeese also on a pole. He is down 12 spots, but he just came down pit road pitting. We'll see how he does. Rob Sherwood, like I said earlier, having some issues with a loose car. Eric Stamp going to be in 15th. And 16th, rounding out the field, going to be Chris Smith, and Tom Bourne is currently 72 laps down out of this race.
A lot of damage on some of those cars. The lights go off on the iRacing pace car. He'll dive on to turn number 3. We'll get ready to go back for the restart, which will be around 13 laps left until halfway. Still a long way to go here in this event, though. There's 139 laps to go. It'll be 138 remaining when they take the green flag of the Geico restart zone. Christian Gardner, Jacob Grant, Altus top 3. Massey, a decent run for him in the 4 car. Here they come, ready to send it off that 4th turn. Gardner goes in the Geico restart zone. Big jump over the rest of the field on the inside. Gardner pulls away. 2 car lengths, 3 car lengths, and then they reel him in like bait on a Pop's fishing lure. I messed that up. They reel him in like bait on a Popper's fishing lure, fishing hook, as I was trying to say. As here we go with contact between Altus and Grant back underway.
Yeah, they are just beating and banging here tonight. You know, I knew they was going to be a little aggressive, but I didn't know how aggressive they were going to get. But I mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, Wesley. You know, if you're not racing somebody, or you're racing somebody who's not in the playoffs, it's a little less, you get a little less aggressive. But looking at the field here, out of 17 cars that started this, all but about 6 of them are actually in the playoffs. So you've really got to step it up, because everybody you're passing, for the most part, is somebody you're trying to get ahead of in the points.
Watching them work their way back across the start-finish line. Another lap on the board again. It is still Christian Gardner out in front. Altus in 2nd. Grant to 3rd.
Braxton Luis on the move as well. He's up to 9th. Just a few spots or laps ago, he was back in about 15th. So he's on the move. Rob Sherwood, Evan Coleman, they're on the move as well. And could this be the night that Altus picks up a victory in that 94 machine with Vortex Optics on the side? He has been trying his hardest to get a win here, another win, and it's just eluded him so far this season.
Closing in on halfway with Gardner out in front. Altus in 2nd. Jacob Grant 3rd. Remember, opening round of the playoffs. This is round number 1. Little slip there, open the door. Inside comes Altus, looking for the lead. The top 4 drivers in the playoffs battling. Inside comes Grant after Gardner, 2 for 1. Gardner falling back, he's stuck on the outside lane. And move him to 3rd, not yet. Side by side, dead even at the line for 2nd as Altus pulls away 1 car length back to 1.
And we're going to be working on some things here real quick. I just got a message from Sam Dyer. He said, "Hey, I'm home. I just got home. Should I jump in for the rest of the race?" And yes. Again, we're all testing. We are testing stuff right now, so we'll let him get into TeamSpeak, mute himself, and get on call so he can see the race. But we'll be letting him join us here. And why not? Let's just have a 3-man booth tonight. Let's do it.
There you go. A 3-man crew. And by the way, speaking of a 3-man crew, Samuel Dyer, myself, and Greg Rentz will be on the call for the Copper World Classic tonight on LSRTV and on CRN Sports for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. And we have a lot of enhancement in our enhanced broadcast tonight. You do not want to miss some of the bells and whistles that we are looking to possibly launch into full effect on Monday of next week. But tonight is just a little tidbits and samples of what we got going on. And right now, Joshua Altus, the Virginia native, out in front, leading the way. The Vortex Optics entry Chevrolet. There you see him. Jacob Grant right behind him in the 52 machine. Closing in. Christian Gardner, who had most of the front up, he falls back to third. Ross the Balls Tatum now up to fourth. Braxton DeWeese, keep an eye on the bullseye, number 1 seed. DeWeese is in fourth. And now the top 5 of Tatum and DeWeese top 5. That's how it goes. Getting good here. And I believe we are now joined by my colleague from California, Samuel Dyer. Samuel, good evening to you. Hope everything was okay on the home front. I know you had a family emergency you had to kind of tend to, but we've got a great race so far as we are approaching halfway at Martinsville.
Yeah, family's good, and right now, all the playoff drivers doing a great job of those that are up front, certainly putting on a great show, and it's been a blast to watch. I've been listening in while I was heading back home, and we've seen a lot of good green flag runs so far this race, but man, I'm impressed by seeing what I've seen from Christian Gardner, who's in 5th place, but Matt Dyer, he's been having some issues certainly as well earlier in the race, getting caught up in some wrecks, but man, it's been really interesting to see how we've been having some long green flag runs and then some quick cautions as well.
Matt Dyer hung on the outside just a moment ago, on Massey's car as they were battling for that spot. There's Matt Dyer, your brother, sitting there right now in the top 10, outside the top 10. He's in 6th. And outside the top 5 is what I meant to say. He got a top 10 run going for him. Right behind him, Sherwood. Here comes now Matt Dyer. He wants more. He wants to crack the top 5. He's coming after Christian Gardner. While that goes on, there goes Rob Sherwood and Logan Breakey, some of the most recent winners, making their way into the playoffs, punching their ticket. DraftKings, Rob Sherwood, and then, of course, Logan Breakey. What a wild race at Daytona last Wednesday night to get his opportunity to race in the playoffs as well. Yeah, he was going to come in by points, but by winning the race, he literally bumped himself up to the number 2 seed.
Yeah, number 2 seed was exactly his goal last week. He wanted to beat out all the drivers, made sure he got that bubble going into this first round. That's what a lot of the drivers were hoping to have is, Jacob Grant extremely high there for a second.
Just after halfway here at Martinsville. Ross Tatum there, he's leading, new leader, Ross Tatum. DeWeese is up to 2nd. And look at now, Altus falling back to 3rd. How about this, out of the 11 drivers that are in the playoff for a championship, Samuel, there are 8 drivers, 9 in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what these drivers that are in the playoffs need to do. I mean, have a great start. I think coming into round number 1, Martinsville was the giant question mark, as this race is notoriously known for just being a demolition derby at times, and it's really a stress on who's got the car that's left. I mean, Rob Sherwood, kind of case in point, he's got no back bumper, but still running strong, because here at the Paperclip, it's more about what your engine is like. If it's at full power, you can full send and still have a great ending and great finish at the end of this race.
Ross Tatum, the Balls, back up in front. Braxton DeWeese in the number 2 position. You call him the bullseye, man. He's been out in front. Look at the Gardner battling there with Matt Dyer. Rob Sherwood, that's been heated on the racetrack. It's for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Best battle on the speedway. We've been watching it for numerous laps now as we continue to see these guys negotiate here around the Paperclip. The action track, that is the Martinsville Speedway, just after halfway. And it's still Ross Tatum leading, Braxton DeWeese, Joshua Altus 3rd, Jacob Grant 4th, Christian Gardner, the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this field right now, Wesley, I mean, coming into this race, the drivers outside of the cut line, that of Eric Stamp.
Whoa, Matt Dyer!
Christian Gardner, oh no!
Matt Dyer, contact with a couple of other cars, bounced off the wall, fishtailed into the safer wall barrier at a turn 4. He'll still keep going. There's no caution. We got to wonder how much damage is on Dyer's car. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of right side damage on that 88, and the main thing is as long as it didn't mess up the toe and his steering is still straight, the 88 should be all right, but that's some hard contact, and He's got to now rebound, get back into his rhythm. He wants to attack the drivers in front of him once again, but losing a lot of ground. He was in 6th. He's fallen all the way back to that. I mean, so far back to 13th.
Yeah, lost about 7 positions in that exchange. The driver out of California for CEM Motorsports. Too sexy, Matt Dyer. Down into that 3rd turn, Keenan Massey battling with Rob Sherwood, the DraftKings entry. The Majesty number 4. Couple of Chevrolets side by side. Then the Ford of Eric Stamp right behind them, and that's in the top 10. Logan Brakey down to the inside of the racetrack. Right now, everybody's still kind of playing nice here as they go to turn 3, Sam.
Yeah, Keenan Massey right now in the 4. I think he was one of the... Oh, boy, a lot of contact being made as cars just running into one another. Massey getting on the throttle too soon, wiggling out of there. But Massey, probably one of the few drivers of the non-playoff drivers that came in. We were expecting a major run. This 4 is always so good at the short tracks. And right now, Keenan Massey's been showing it. But that contact, it slowed down the 4. Eric Stamp, he's now going to be capitalizing on that mistake.
You know, for a second, it looked like bumper cars, if you will, at the state fairgrounds. And as we approach 110 laps to go in this race, just a great performance we're seeing now by Ross Tatum as we show a pan view from 3 and 4 back down the front straightaway here at the paperclip. And there you see the leaders from Grant, Gardner, Brakey, Sherwood right there, Stamp in that battle. Inside, camera shots into that 3rd turn. They'll send it.
I mean, Wesley, we talked about, I mean, you as well as Charles were talking about the transition from the asphalt to the concrete and how it's so loose on the entry and tied off. Drivers, we're seeing that. I mean, a lot of drivers putting in so much pressure of these braking zones. And you know, looking at the last time some of these drivers went into pit road, our top 2, last time they went in was around lap 107, and the rest of the field was around lap 70. That's a 30-lap difference, and that could be a major reason why we're seeing a lot of the drivers slipping a lot more, because the grip they once had, it's gone away, as we're on board with that of Rob Sherwood.
Well, trouble in front of Sherwood. Gardner getting turned. And Christian Gardner getting turned while we were on board with Sherwood. And I believe it was the number 2 of Logan Brakey that got into him. Wow.
I mean, this was exactly what I was talking about. I mean, different braking zones for drivers. I mean, it's going to be right here on the entry of turn 3 when we're going to be seeing the 2 trying to dive bomb, have a little bit more aggression, and just immediately after the contact, Logan over the radio saying, "I'm sorry, it's my fault." But oh, that's so much ground lost for the 7 and that one spin when he was battling up for 6th position. He is now back to 13th.
A whole cavalry coming down to the pit lane with closing in on 100 laps to go. As a matter of fact, the field coming back down onto the pit lane, making sure they're not speeding, hitting their marks. Ooh, 21 to Tatum about overshot his pit stall. He makes it in. The 52, Jacob Grant, he's in. And drivers getting 4 tires and fuel. Everybody pits except Braxton DeWeese. He goes and pulls a Hail Mary, if you will, with over 100 laps remaining and 103 to go to be exact. He's the new leader in the 8 car.
Could be a strategy call of thinking about saving these tires. Last time Braxton DeWeese pit was back on lap 107, so it's going to be around a little bit 39 lap difference on these tires of the drivers that stayed out and those that have just pitted. So for Braxton DeWeese, he's going to be under a lot of pressure of these drivers that just got fresh rubber. Leading that group's going to be Ross Tatum. And you know, Wesley, we always look back to the past on drivers. We saw, you know, Tom Bourne, Thomas Fisher, they had their squabble that got squished back at Sonoma. But for that of Braxton DeWeese and Ross Tatum, it's short track racing. We've seen in real life that of drivers getting some payback. I wouldn't imagine Ross Tatum would do it, but hey, short track racing, sometimes drivers have to use that bumper.
And of course, we are talking about the All-Star race at Nashville when DeWeese put the bump and run in the third turn on Ross Tatum to cost him $165, if you will, in the All-Star race. There was a lot of heated conversation during post-race wrap-up. And you always talk about drivers and the elephant in the room rearing their ugly head, and they've got a damn good memory. And sometimes the opportunity, and we heard Tatum say something, and I remember the conversation, and he said, and I quote, if the guy wants that money, let him have it. But he did say, and I quote Ross as well in closing, I'm going to come back and I'm going to make him regret it, because it's going to be something cost-worthy for him when I finally say I'm going to return the favor. Could that be tonight? That's the question.
Chrome horn is always there for some of these drivers. Just give a little bit of a bump and run, gives you a shot in. Sometimes you need to use the bumper if you want to make a move as the pace car pulls off.
Field, ready. Deweese, Tatum, ready. We're ready. Geico restart zone. 100 laps to go. It should be a fun century grind to the checkered flag in race 1 of the playoffs. And Tatum got turned. Grant, Sherwood behind him. And the machine of Ross Tatum goes around. Wow.
Well, we talked about maybe Ross getting some payback. Well, he gets bumped around again this season. 21's luck just not there.
Wow, wow, wow. Let's keep an eye on the replay. Watch this. Pulse Popper fishing lures. And there is Grant behind the 21. Boy, you know what? I don't think it's Jacob Grant's fault, to be honest with you, Samuel. It looked like maybe Tatum might have got on the brakes a little too quickly and he drifted up the racetrack. Grant had nowhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where drivers have, drivers have their different braking zones coming in, and some drivers get used to, when they're on older tires, you brake a little bit sooner, and when you're on fresh rubber, you can brake a little bit later because you got that extra grip that allows you to really stick to the floor. But yeah, this contact, it was one of those things where Jacob Grant just was not expecting this brake right here.
No, right there, look.
Yeah, it's just so soon.
Yeah, that's all. I hate to say it. My apologies on saying that was all Ross Tatum right there. Ross got on the brake, spun her out. Under 100 laps to go. Quick break, more coverage. SNB Cup Series, round 1 of the playoffs, the Justin Johnson Memorial. 250 returns on LSRTV in a moment.
Everybody knows everybody. Well, they sure as hell know me. In that mad dog.
Look at that.
Look how wide that deer is.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's down. He's down.
Hold him up first, huh? Can you hold him up? Son, what do you think about that? Dylan, do some skin, buddy. Excited?
After me.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
One of the comrades, one of the friends of the Appalachian Hauler Hunters family, the duck caller, the hunter. Godspeed to Justin Johnson. This race is in his honor and memory. And thoughts and prayers, condolences still going out to the family. Altus and Sherwood on the front row. We're ready. Green flag. Back out. Martinsville, under 90 to go. And they send it to turn 1. Altus pulling away as there's a 3-car battle for second. Samuel off turn 2 and breaking away is Rob Sherwood in 29.
Sherwood's doing a great job. Stamp into the outside wall. Also give note is the fact that, oh no, I think there's contact in the back.
Trouble. Peterson, Chris Smith wrecking. Wrecked 55. Wrecked 96. Caution. Calamity continues at the paperclip.
Drivers coming hard out of the corner, and going to be watching for that of Zach Peterson. Just coming. Oh my goodness, an aggressive move by the 96. And
Wow.
Bob Smith, nowhere to go. He thought he was going to avoid the wreck, but into the 96. And Zach Peterson immediately over the radio said, sorry, that's my fault. That is a racing deal. You just came in unaware of the where Keenan Massey was, it looked like.
In front of Massey. Yeah, just bonsai'd in front of Keenan Massey. This is from the onboard of Chris Smith. This should tell the tale. A lot of onboard good camera shots tonight. We're back on the restart and watch them as they hit the back straightaway. And this is where it all goes south, Samuel.
I mean, just trying to avoid DeWeese, and with trying to avoid DeWeese goes into Peterson and into the wall. And this course is just so narrow. You make one evasive move, and you hope there's no one else in the other space. And you can see there, for Chris Smith, he does have major front-end damage for himself. And, before that caution came out, I was going to give a note. We talked about how we thought maybe that incident that was made, the wreck, Ross Stidham hard on the brakes early. They actually gave the EOL to that of Jacob Grant. So Grant had to go all the way to the back and just decided to come in, get some tires and fuel, as well as some damage repaired.
Well, like we did advertise, it's a 3-man broadcast crew. Charles Wooten is back on pushing the buttons, but I'll bring him back into the broadcast under caution. Charles, a lot of calamity here down the stretch, but under 100 to go.
Yeah, it really has turned into a caution fest. You can't sugarcoat it. Cautions have bred more cautions. The only thing that comes to mind, I'm going to be honest, it reminds me of anybody. I'm going to date myself here, and now I'm going to be a Wesley moment. But that movie Gremlins, where if they get wet, they start multiplying. I think that's how it is. If they have one caution, they start multiplying, and we just start having more and more in the race. So maybe someone should drain the pumps, get the pools clear, because this race is turning into a bit of a caution flag fiesta, and I'm going to need some salsa here soon.
Somebody needs to lock them damn gremlins, except for Gizmo in the closet. Gizmo was always nice.
Yes, Gizmo was always nice, but right now, I don't think we have Gizmo. I think we have that one with the white mohawk on it that just wanted to destroy everything.
Yes, not a friendly person. Lights off on the pace car. Pace car will scamper back down onto the pit lane. Altus, Sherwood, Samuel, ready to head back to the Geico restart zone.
And just like that, Altus just taking off immediately, and he is gone. It's the rest of the field trying to catch up. It's going to be Eric Stamp on the inside, trying to make a move here on Rob Sherwood. And Christian Gardner, once again, just on fresh rubber. That's 7, always finding himself up in the top 5.
Side by side for that second spot. Stamp back in the battle. He had a caution earlier where he was battling with Grant for position. Got tagged right there in turns 1 and 2. And now Rob Sherwood on the outside. 4 cars in the top 5 fighting in the playoffs. Obviously, you want to be one of those playoff drivers because if you win, Samuel, you advance into the next round. Right now, out of the top 10, we have 8 out of the top 10 that have a chance to punch their ticket into the next round of the round of 6 if they can hang on.
Yeah, I mean, this race can honestly take so much pressure off. I mean, for some of these guys that are racing here, for that of Evan Coleman, I mean, he got himself a chance to even race for a championship with Brockton Packard, dropping out of the playoffs.
Trouble, turn 2! Couple of cars have wrecked. Just caught it at the top, and it's Braxton DeWeese, one of them involved. Wow.
Oh, and he's got a lot of damage on this 8 machine.
My goodness, DeWeese and Peterson, they're right there. Tatum is around him. Ross Tatum. There's Peterson, there's Caleb Smith, and Zachary Peterson started it. Caleb Smith finished it. And around goes the 8 of Braxton DeWeese, the native of the Buckeye Stoke. Matthew
and
Gilliam,
really,
Trip Smith is in the 28 car to answer your question.
And Braxton DeWeese, he has lost his spoiler. He's also lost his back bumper. He is gonna, if he's got a fast repair, he's most likely going to be using it here. But man, that is some hard contact to the 8, who honestly the first contact would have survived, but it's when he hit Caleb Smith that really set most of the rear end just flying everywhere at the end.
Don't think anybody's coming to the pits, and if you're in the front, I don't. Joshua Altus looking. Let's be honest here. He ain't won since Daytona of last year. Am I correct? Or this year?
I do not believe that Altus
How long
has
has
won
it been
this
since
season.
Altus has won? I don't think he's
It has
won
been
all
a
year.
long time. Yeah, it hasn't been this year, but
Yeah.
certainly he is still searching for his first one. And right now, it just seems like the drivers that are willing to be aggressive and making some, dive bomb moves, they've been successful to get up front. It's the drivers that have been patient and hoping not to get caught up in some messes. They're the ones that have been finding some misfortune. As Braxton DeWeese looks like he did not have a fast repair. He is still he's getting those manual repairs, which could be putting him a lap down.
Wow. Heartbreak. He is now officially 1 lap down, and he's about to possibly go now 2 laps down in the number 8 car, as he does not have, I'm understanding well, he made it out of the pits. Maybe he won't go a lap down. He beat the pace car. He is 1 lap down. He made it out before he became 2 laps down. And mind you, one thing I want to talk about, Samuel, is you just saw when he came out of the pit lane, beating the pace car, there's that cone, and we see some races that are like really, really big, like for instance Daytona of last Wednesday night, or Talladega, or Charlotte, or Michigan, or something of that nature, where they pull off and they stay below the bottom of the racetrack until they come onto the blend line, and then they can pull onto the speedway. This is a short track. Martinsville, Richmond, Bristol, maybe Iowa. You can literally pull back onto the race course as soon as you exit the pit lane. You see the commit cone to the pits, the green cone. You see the blue cone at the blue line as the field gets the one to go. As soon as they clear that cone, they can get back in the racing groove.
That giddy up and go. They're ready whenever they come out.
And we're ready for the restart. Lap 171 of 250. Justin Johnson Memorial at Martinsville back underway. And Altus with a great restart. 3 cars for second, Sherwood. Here comes Christian Gardner. Where in the world did the 7 Toyota come from? Christian Gardner with a slider to the inside. It looked like a dirt track move, if you will. He was trying to go for the slider, the crossover, trying to get around Eric Stamp and split Sherwood, and he's dirt tracking it again off turn 4. What a save for Christian Gardner, but now he's falling back. Gilliams passes him. Massey passes him. It's like a draft at Talladega or Daytona.
Yeah, Massey on the inside trying to make the pass confirmed here, but man, was the 7 of Gardner. He was doing such a great job on the outside, but he could just feel that tension, getting into the throttle so soon, earlier than everyone else, and that's what's making the rear end just wiggle so much and losing all this ground.
By the way, I'm understanding from Chris DeWeese, Braxton did not use a fast repair. He never does unless he needs to. So he did not use a fast repair yet on car number 8. But understanding from timing and scoring, he did take a fast repair. So I'm not sure what's right or wrong here. So
we'll have to wait and see. If he blows his engine, then and if he's still out there after that, he has still kept it. If not, he should be back in the race. But luckily for Braxton DeWeese, we've had so many cautions come out. It's actually okay that he's still 1 lap down. As long as he's not involved in the next accident, we're kind of expecting it here at Martinsville. He should get that lap back. But it's a matter of if he doesn't go a lap down again before we get another caution.
75 laps to go here at Martinsville. Samuel Dyer, Charles Wooten, I'm Wesley Outland. Your coverage on your home for sim racing. And remember tonight, a special enhanced broadcast. A lot of cool amenities have been added to the broadcast for the Northwest Cup Series and Truck Series. And you're going to see a little sample of that tonight beginning at 11:30 Eastern, as well as simulcast on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network. And right now, Joshua Altus, he's not won all season. Got himself into the playoff by virtue of points. But now, when it counts the most, could he punch his ticket into the second round of the playoffs after this first 3-race series? Right now, he is the strong man, Samuel Dyer, closing in on 70 laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, for that of Altus, Season 1 champion of the SNB Cup Series, his second appearance in the playoffs. I mean, for this 94 team, he is looking for his second championship if possible, and with such a strong start currently, if he can get the win here, that is such an advantage to have moving on to the next round as drivers slashing and dashing around. Drivers got to be careful back there as Evan Coleman getting loose out of the corner.
Let's give you your full-field rundown on lap 180 of 250, 70 laps to go at Martinsville. Joshua Altus is leading, Rob Sherwood is second, Eric Stampus third, Matthew Gilliams fourth, Keenan Massey the top 5. Then it's Christian Gardner, Zachary Peterson, Evan Coleman, Jacob Grant, Logan Breakey, the top 10 as they go back to turn 1.
Yeah, Ross Tatum, Matt Dyer 11th and 12th, Robbie Helms in 13th, Caleb Smith in 14th, Papa Smith in 15th, and 1 lap down is that of Braxton DeWeese in 16th position. But right now, Braxton DeWeese, he's running decently well. He would be around 11th and 12th position currently. So even if we stay green for a while, he shouldn't be going 2 laps down. But this is a very good green flag run that we've been seeing these drivers have.
And remember, he's the first car a lap down. If the caution was to come out, he would get the free pass and move back on the lead lap, unless he's the cause of the caution. The number 8 machine. Joshua Altus leading. Rob Sherwood in second. Eric Stamp third. Matthew Gilliams. Trip Smith, to answer your question in the chat on our YouTube broadcaster. He's the number 28, the driver in fourth. Keenan Massey, again, the top 5, riding on board with Christian Gardner, the Appalachian Hauler Hunter Motorsports number 7. And at one time tonight, Samuel, he was at the top of the front. You might have thought that Christian Gardner was the man to win this race.
Yeah, I mean, Christian Gardner right now coming in, and he's trying his best to stay up close to the top 5. Just have a good run. I think that's really the goal of this 7 team. Comes in 3 points outside of the cut line, and really is just a solid top 10, top 6 day. Is a solid way to start out this first round of the playoffs. I mean, we've got 2 other strong races to go to. We've got Darlington and Las Vegas to finish out this round. So if you can get a good start on what Martinsville, kind of our wild card race of the first round, and you get a top 10 finish, is a great way to start out your playoffs.
Altus, Sherwood, Stamp, Gilliams, Massey. There you see him right there. You know, I got to say, with Gilliams' car looking like a modified, he's doing a phenomenal job at the top 5. He's in fourth. But the thing is this, Samuel, this is short track racing. This is true grassroots, bumping, beating, banging, gouging. This is where it started. Your car could be beaten, battered, banged, bruised, Band-Aid, damaged. Front end gone, looking like a modified. The rear end gone. And you could still be able to show what talent you got in your car. And that was what we're seeing with the 28 of Matthew Gilliams.
Yeah, I mean, for this 28 team, not having a front clip isn't the worst thing. And based on the speed that we're seeing from the 28 team, obviously still has full power. The only issue is because there is no front bumper, there is the possibility of a little bit of damage on the engine where if any other bumps happen to the 28, he could start to have some engine temperature issues, and he could find himself blowing up, especially with short track racing. Some drivers, they like to, oh no, in the back, coming out, turn number 4, issues, as it brings out another yellow.
Caution is out, and this is what the doctor ordered for Braxton DeWeese. Zachary Peterson going around in 96. Free pass going to the 8. Back in the dance for the driver of the Buckeye State. And cars are coming to the pit lane. Wow.
I mean, Zachary Peterson, he just seems to be around, just a magnet around these cautions. It just seems here tonight. And he gets help. Jacob Grant giving a little bit of a bump. And DeWeese, no contact. He'll get that free pass.
That's right. No harm, no foul. We're on board. Looking like the 96 might have some handling problems. We're watching him as he worked his way, and he had some, well, Grant was behind him. This was a lap ahead before this happened. By the way, aerial coverage of Always on LSRTV presented by All American Pools. Look at Grant already fishtailing again. And then he closes in on Peterson. Was there contact? Yes, there was. A little bump, a nudge, if you will, to the left rear of Peterson's car, Sam Dyer, and that's what caused the 96 to go around.
Yeah, and you also can see a little bit of fishtailing from that of the 96 on those replays, where we were seeing that of Zach Peterson just diving in so hard and strong that when he was hard on the brakes, the rear end wanted to slide on him, but he was able to try to hold on, but then Jacob Grant finishing off the job. And once again, we're seeing Jacob Grant giving another driver a bump, and Zachary Peterson being spun around.
Charles Wooten, 57 laps to go. Your take of what we got going on at Martinsville. It's getting good.
I'll get back with you in a minute, Wes. I'm actually in the process of chopping up some tomatoes for this salsa. We already got the corn tortilla chips in the fryer. We're actually making homemade ones out of tortilla shells.
Taco Tuesday was yesterday, right?
Yeah, well, this is salsa Wednesday. I don't know.
This is a siesta Wednesday?
Yeah, siesta Wednesday.
It's not hump day for Charles. It's siesta Wednesday for him.
Yeah.
SNB siesta.
Yeah, exactly. So we got the chips and salsa for this caution fiesta. So all that's left is I'm going to go grab a sombrero out of the closet, and we're going to call it a day.
Yeah, make sure you find that broken damn cord as well that you can't find. As you
we found both of them.
Oh, good. We're in business. Wow.
Yes, we're in business. We found that and another computer, too. So we're good.
Look out. Do a little tap dance. We got salsa. Lights off on the pace car. All right. We'll let you slide this time. Go enjoy your siesta. Green flag coming back out this time by in the Geico restart zone. Pace car goes into turn 4. Joshua Altus, Rob Sherwood, Matt Dyer, Caleb Smith, and Zachary Peterson. Yeah, a salsa siesta. Because you're going to eat and then you're going to get, tired. Green flag. Yeah, sleeping salsa. Don't judge me. Let me work. Here we go, back straight away. And look who's coming to work.
3 wide.
Williams, it's not 3-1. 3-1. Someone better lift. Jacob Grant up in the fence. He holds it. And Gilliams, boy, he had to fight for that spot, and he made it work.
He might not have a bumper, but he's willing to get aggressive for this 28. Gilliams, he might force it once again 3 wide if he sees another opportunity. As that of Eric Stamp making the move. Taco Bell, he's making that move forward with that Baja Blast.
Ole! Run for the border on the inside. Kind of ironic, North Carolina and Virginia meet each other just in Martinsville, but that's not the siesta salsa thing going on, as I was referring to. Here we go. Matt Dyer battling alongside Gardner there, now back along braking. And we're keeping an eye on the beaten, battered, and banged number 28 car. Look at that car. You know what that car reminds me of, Samuel Dyer? I don't know how much history you know of NASCAR, but that car reminds me of the 28 of Fred Lorenzen when he raced back in the day. Actually, you know what? It is. It is a remake. It is a remake of the Lafayette Ford number 28 that Fred Lorenzen drove back in the NASCAR days.
I mean, can't see the Ford symbol on the front bumper as it's gone, but certainly doing a great job. Oh, Eric Stamp! He's to the lead, and there goes the 69.
New leader. Earlier spun, Eric Stamp gets the lead back in the 69 Ford.
Eric
The Mountain
Stamp,
Dew
part of
Baja Blast entry.
Eric Stamp, as well as Williams, as well as looking back at Gardner, Brakey, Evan Coleman. These are the drivers that actually came into pit road under our last caution. And oh no, Deweese, he spun around. No yellow. We're still green as the
No
8 is
caution.
spun around and finally gets going.
Under 50 laps to go. And Braxton Deweese spins his car out. But no caution. We will stay green. No caution. All right.
Oh!
Wow. Zachary Peterson, Braxton Deweese getting together, but still, you thought there would be a yellow, but no yellow flag. Man, it was right below the flag stand, too. Milton Barney, 5 Jr. did not do his job then.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because of the fact that the contact was further back of the field, so it felt like there was no oncoming traffic. Even though the spin was on the racing surface, there was no yellow thrown because there was not oncoming traffic, and was able to get going was Braxton Deweese. But Deweese here tonight learned last week after the broadcast, Braxton Deweese no longer part of Team High Five Racing. He is practically a lone stranger out here, and he is doing his best to keep himself in line, but he's got the leader right behind. He got his lap back, but he can lose it just as quickly.
45 laps to go when they come back to the start-finish line, and just as fast as Braxton Deweese had got the lead lap back after a caution, tangles up with Zachary Peterson, both cars in the back in 15th and 16th spot, and now the leader luring him in like a fish or a shark on his prey. The predator is Eric Stamp. The prey is Braxton Deweese. He's trying to close in and put him another lap down again. 42 laps to go when they come back to the start-finish line here in the Justin Johnson Memorial 250 at Martinsville. Samuel, Braxton Deweese, he has got to pray now for a yellow flag.
Yeah, and the huge thing for Deweese, I mean, he came into tonight's race and into the playoffs with a 20-point buffer between himself and the cut line. And with him running currently in 16th place, if he finishes there, that 20-point buffer he had coming into the playoffs is gone in just one race. He got his mulligan here at Martinsville, and he's got to hope that he stays consistent and runs well at Darlington and also at Las Vegas to finish out this round.
The drivers in green are in the championship round. They're battling it out. There's 11. And here's the leader closing in on Braxton Deweese, the man that pretty much dominated all season in the regular season. The All-Star race winner. 5 regular season wins. 6 in total if you count the 9 points All-Star race. And the man that was the #1 seed in the playoffs, now at a risk of going a lap down. But you know what, Samuel? Hey, Eric Stamp has to be careful, because while he does that with 40 laps to go, Braxton Deweese trying to put him a lap down. Here comes Matthew Gilliams trying to get the Stamp to take the lead away. Lap car is a pick, and Gilliams trying to go after him.
This is giving me flashbacks of Bristol in a way of when Tom Bourne was the leader trying to get by lap traffic, and it was Thomas Fisher that was battling hard to keep himself on the lead lap, and it just turned into that leader getting wrecked, but this time the 28, woo, holds on.
Boy, fishtail, what a save. Closing in, lap down on Braxton Deweese, and now the lap car between the leader Stamp and Gilliams. Gilliams lost a lot of momentum, and now Gardner up the racetrack. Here comes Logan Brakey, the most recent winner on the series at Daytona, to the inside. Whoa, boy, oh boy. Gardner trying to go into a big spin there, a 5-car battle for that spot. That's for third as they go to turn 1. Look at Gardner up
contact.
under Brakey. Push him out of the way.
More contact. Devin Coleman giving a bump there.
Boy, Coleman on the outside now. Gardner on the inside. Gouging, bumping, banging. And finally, they will just punch you. And Coleman now getting around Gardner. This race coming down to the end.
Man, I mean, Evan Coleman, one of the drivers initially into the playoffs, was just missed out. But because of Brockton Packard not being able to race for the rest of the playoffs, it actually gave the position to Evan Coleman, who was the closest in points. And this 51, 4th place, running well, and all that scrappiness has now put him in 4th position.
Lap 217 of 250. Closing in on 30 laps to go. 32 remain. Next time by. And there you see that battle that's now kind of subsided back single file between Gardner, Tatum, Grant. See how big, battered, and banged that car is? That's Tatum's car. That's the front end of his car.
Man, he is just scraped up. I mean,
It
is
looks like a crumpled up
used.
tin can that missed the trash can on a free throw shot.
Just missed the Kobe shot. That's all he did right now.
That's right.
I mean, these guys still working for it. Ross Tatum, I mean, what a recovery for himself after finding himself spun after contact between himself and that of Jacob Grant. And guess who's behind number 21? It is Jacob Grant as well.
Stamp, Gilliams in second. Look at Jacob Grant, fishtailing, fighting, bobbing, weaving goes Tatum in front of Grant, blocking now Gardner. And now Tatum too high, out of the groove, lost it. Tatum with a problem in 21, he's in trouble. Ross Tatum to pit road, and no caution with under 30 laps to go.
You know, sometimes there's those fluky incidences where you just brush the wall wrong, and it can actually give you what we call a meatball. It's when you have to go into the pits, get required damage, and that could be an incident here for that of Ross Tatum on why he has to come into pit road.
Tatum in the pits, and he goes a lap down before he even gets to his pit. No, it's a penalty. What is he doing? Did he have to suffer a penalty? Did he have to come in for a penalty, Samuel?
I'm waiting to see what the actual report
laps
was, but it's possible that he could have gotten an actual penalty for the 21. And also, if you look at our ticker, that of Zach Peterson has been put a lap down. Braxton DeWeese is not the first car lap down. It's Zach Peterson.
Wow. 96, Zachary Peterson a lap down if the caution was to come out. First car lap down gets the free pass unless they're involved in the caution or had something to do with it. And now that's Zachary Peterson. Eric Stamp now the leader. Stamp spun earlier in the race, earlier before lap 100. And now look at Matthew Gilliams driving a Fred Lorenzen Cup Series Ford throwback.
Oh,
to the inside.
He might not have a front bumper, but he might have to use the engine to move that of the 69. Both these drivers pitted under our last caution around 191, and it has been all green since then. But oh boy, Eric Stamp, he is loose. He is feeling the wear and tear on these tires. And a factor that we haven't really touched on that much since you and I have been in the booth, the track is on fire tonight. It is 106 degrees on track temp. 83 is the ambient temperature. That means that it is smoking hot. Whenever you get onto the throttle too soon, you are burning up more tires. And also, because the concrete is so warm, that is wearing these tires out even more. It's like a cheese grater out there on these tires.
Some comfort when you run on the pavement, but then when you get to the concrete, they get hot. Again, burn them up faster, if you will. And burning them up faster, and you're in the corners. Close it in on the finish. 20 laps to go. Coming up next time by. And there's Eric Stamp. He's still bobbing and weaving like a boxer in that squared circle, trying to throw the block on Lorenzen. Lorenzen in, that's Matthew Gilliams in Fred Lorenzen's car. In the throwback, inside, looking. Matthew Gilliams coming to 20 to go, trying to run down Eric Stamp, and they have actually opened up a 3-second lead over Logan Brakey, who's in third. 20 to go, Samuel, this time by in the Justin Johnson 250 Memorial at Martinsville.
Yeah, and you see here that too, Logan Brakey, he's kind of being held back by lap traffic, not feeling the pressure of needing to make abrasive moves here currently. There's pretty good gaps between that of second to third and further on back, so drivers not feeling that pressure just yet that they need to be on the go. I think Logan Brakey, he'll count this as a win. I mean, if you're able to get a top 3 finish at Martinsville, you'll take it, as this track is a marathon. 250 laps is a long time on this course. Drivers constantly thinking of getting on the brakes, getting on the throttle nice and smooth, so you don't find yourself spinning out. And with all the pacing laps, it can be hard on the mental for these drivers as well for the physical.
It's the equivalent of halfway through the distance of a NASCAR Cup Series event. It's the same distance of a NASCAR Xfinity Series race. And it's 50 laps more than the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series event. 18 to go. There's Logan Brakey. The Microsoft Sports Net Canada Ford for CEM Motorsports. He's now third. But can he run down for the lead, these guys? Stamp and Gilliams. And could we see a late race caution? 17. Now make it 16 to go at Martinsville. And Gilliams is putting on the afterburners and feeling on the pressure for Eric Stamp in turn 1.
Gilliams and Stamp, they're running well. Gilliams is right there. He's got a shot. He's trying to just get to the quarter panel. If he can get there, he might be able to make the move, but also got to watch out for lap traffic. You'll see it on the straightaways. The lap cars are just out of view. Yellow comes out.
Wow, caution. And this changes everything. 16 to go. Yellow flag. Zachary Peterson was the caution. Guess what, Sam Dyer? He was a lap down. He was the cause of the caution. He cannot get a free pass. Guess who it goes back to? Braxton DeWeese in the number 8 car.
Oh, no, look at the telemetry and out the timing.
No,
Ross Tatum's going to get it.
Ross Tatum is going to get it.
Braxton DeWeese, he's going to have to do a drive. He's most likely going to try to do a wave around, not take tires or fuel to get himself back on the lead lap, hope for a quick caution.
Your leaders are in. Stamp's in. Williams is in. Brakey's in. Boy, oh boy. Give it all we got tonight. Lyrics to a song. A great country song by George Strait. And what the boys are doing in round 1 of the SNB Cup Series playoffs at Martinsville.
Man, and also for a lot of these drivers, if you've got a fast repair, this is so tough. I mean, we're coming up. When we go green, it's going to be around 10 laps to go. You most likely don't want to use your fast repair, but it looks like a lot of drivers, they're stuck with what they've got.
"13 laps to go. A final word from our sponsor of the series, Appalachian Hauler Hunters, and buckle in and hold on tight. It's about to go into overdrive and a barn burner for race 1 of the playoffs at Martinsville. Stay with us.
Everybody knows everybody. Well, they sure as hell know me. In that mad dog.
Look at that.
Look how wide that deer is.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's down. He's down.
Hold him up first, huh? You hold him up. Son, what do you think about that? Use your skin, buddy.
after me.
Watch season 1 of Appalachian Holler Hunters on YouTube while you're also checking us out. Subscribe to LSRTV. Samuel Dyer, Charles Woot, Wesley Outland. Charles, I got to bring you back in. I think you got your salsa done. A 10-lap shootout coming up. It doesn't get any better than that. This is Martinsville. What a great race we've seen, and thank you for getting it started for us.
I did as green flag about to come out. I actually traded in that salsa, had a bit of it, and then I poured a gallon of coffee, so I'll be ready for tonight's race.
Salsa and coffee, and Eric Stamp on the restart. Gone. Boy, restart with 10 to go. Eric Stamp with the restart of his life in the SNB series so far. He'll scamper away. Logan Breaky to the inside of Gilliams. Meanwhile, they're 2x2 like Noah, leading the animals to the arc, with also the machine of Altus back in the battle, the top 5 out of 4.
Oh, contact! Oh, no! Catching Gardner in the wall!
Oh, he collected
more
Sherwood,
collected.
collected Matt Dyer. Several cars involved. Wow.
Oh, this started with Logan Breaky. He's going to be loose, and we're going to see it. He's going to be the car number 2. He's going to get loose, which is going to cause a chain reaction where all the other drivers are trying to react to get around him, and it just backfired and took out that of Christian Gardner and many more behind him.
My goodness. Calamity. You saw them bunched up in the pack. I think you saw Sherwood nowhere to go. Your brother Matt Dyer nowhere to go. Oh man, Ross Tatum again collected, nowhere to go. From the blimp view. From the blimp view. High above Martinsville. Aerial coverage always. Presented by All-American Pools. Watch this.
Was there contact between Gardner and Logan Breaky?
Oh yeah, look at that. Breaky got into the, or Gardner got into Breaky there in the corner.
And then right here, they hit there.
Oh,
that's the initial
shot.
contact that got the 2 loose.
And then it looked like Breaky was trying to come down, and he came down on the 7. That to me, that was just short track racing right there. There was nothing intentional in that. Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, once you're
Sherwood,
bouncing
Caleb
around.
Smith also. I didn't see Caleb Smith involved.
Yeah, I mean, once you're bouncing around, you're just a ping pong ball. You got no control where your car's going at times, and cars just making calamity there late in the race, and it's under 10 laps to go. Drivers are getting every single inch they can grab, and sometimes it will cost them greatly. We touched on the fact that Tom Bourne out of the race early on. You now can throw in Ross Tatum. He is DNF, the 21, out of the race. He will finish back most likely back in 15th. But if Zach Peterson can get back out on track, possibly he might be taking that 15th position.
We're still in the original distance of the Justin Johnson 250 here at Martinsville. It'll be 5 laps to go. If need be, they get a shot. There'll be 3 attempts at a restart of overtime. The lights should go off on the pace car this time by, and no, they don't. They keep them under caution. So it will be 4 laps to go if they get the 1 to go, and then it will be a 3-lap shootout in the original time distance of this race. Just like, you ever seen that movie, Meet the Fockers? Remember the judge? Bingo, bango, bongo, bingo, bango, bongo. Like ping pong balls. Sam Dyer, great analogy. We've had them zigging and zagging around the paperclip here tonight.
Yeah, it's honestly been a blast to watch all the drivers attacking where they need to go. And Braxton DeWeese, he did have a fast repair. He's got a rear bumper back on the 8. He's back on the lead lap, got fresh rubber. The 8, he's back in 13th. We'll see if he can climb his way through this field. But he's got a lot of work to do because there's some junked up cars out here for sure.
Settling in for the restart. This is the original distance. It will be a 3-lap shootout when they come back to the Geico restart zone. If we have a caution, we go into overtime. Their opportunity is available for 3 attempts if necessary. Pace car is in. The Mountain Dew machine of Eric Stamp on the inside. The car that looks like a modified representing the flashback throwback of Fred Lorenzen's 80-28 in second. And now Logan breaking inside for second. Green flag. Here comes Joshua Altus. Here comes Gilliams up the racetrack into the wall. Almost got turned. Was Coleman in 51. They'll save it as they battle for the lead for second. Altus and Breaky. 2 to go at the line. And Altus spins! Joshua Altus spins. Battling. Caution out. We go to overtime in Martinsville.
And
Wow.
no surprise, short track racing puts us in overtime. Repulse Poppers instant replay of exactly what we saw on screen. Just hard-nosed racing, Altus, Logan Breaky. But this is exactly what happened to the 28 early on that got him so high. A little bit of contact between the 28 and the 2 on the entry and losing a lot of ground. Almost clipping Evan Coleman. But Wesley, this is where the contact and the rubbing really started.
Where the rubber meets the road. Look at this. Where Logan Breaky and Joshua Altus. And I don't think we're done yet. Oh my goodness. Would you have it any other way? It's Martinsville and it's the playoffs, Samuel Dyer.
Oh man, I think I'd be surprised if we get this race done in our first attempt. We got 3 if needed, but Wesley, it's overtime, green, white, checkers. How does the ruling of overtime work for us?
Well, it's this simple. We'll go at it again. Green flag. If the leader takes the white flag, and if there is a caution after the white flag or the checkered flag, it doesn't matter. Race is official. If the leader takes the green and then there's calamity, which I got a feeling 75% sure there probably will be, we'll probably go to double or overtime, maybe triple overtime. But if that does happen, caution is thrown, second attempt overtime if that goes down. If there is a third attempt of overtime, last flag ends the race, last lap ends the race, whether there is a wreck or not. With 2 to go, white flag, coming to the finish, they throw a yellow or they throw a checker. The race is official. Based on the time of scoring, at time of caution, just like NASCAR does, our SNB Cup Series officials of iRacing will go back and check the telemetry on time and scoring, and the race will be called. But we want to see a checker flag. We want to see a CRN 1 to go, and we want to see somebody cross the line officially a winner. We don't want to. We're probably going to have it overtime, 1 or 2 possibly, as I think the lights are going to go off on the pace card this time by Samuel Dyer. No, we're still under yellow flag. But with that said, I think we're going to see somebody get a checker flag.
Yeah, most likely we're going to be seeing a checker flag at some point. And, you know, we just got a feeling we're going to get that white flag.
They impressed us. Remember last week at Daytona, they had one shootout and they went back to green, and that's Daytona. They raced all the way back around to the checkered flag. No big wreck until they crossed the start-finish line. But
that finish was incredible to watch. You had drivers that were in must-win scenarios, almost getting it done. I mean, in some fashion during that race, Evan Coleman felt like he was a must-win. Tom Bourne felt like he was a must-win. Both those drivers in the top 4 running and charging, but it was Logan Breaky that won at Daytona last week, and drivers now stacking up. Wesley, all the drivers that are running right now that are on track, all 14, they're on the lead lap. Oh boy, short track racing, our first attempt at overtime.
This is what we love about it. By the way, if you ever get a chance at a shout out for Clay Campbell and my buddies at NASCAR at Martinsville, Valley Star Credit Union 300 coming back in October. I'm looking forward to being on the broadcast crew for that. And in addition to that, NASCAR, the Blue MU Maximum Pain Release 500 weekend, Halloween weekend at Martinsville. It's part of the NASCAR playoffs as we go back to green in overtime. Trouble. Oh, man, Deweese got slung back to the bottom of the racetrack. Massey bounces off the wall. We still keep going. Back straightaway. Eric Stamp pulling away over Breaky into 3.
Eric Stamp, it was all on his restart.
In the back. White flag. CRN 1 to go. Race is official. And we got cars wrecking. Christian Gardner just got turned out of turn 4. A wreck out of turn 4. Doesn't matter. White flag is out. We are down the back straightaway. It is Eric Stamp going to turn number 3. Samuel Dyer out of turn 4. Eric Stamp spun before lap 100, wins the Justin Johnson Memorial as cars are stalled down below the start-finish line. The race is over. One attempt at overtime. Eric Stamp gets it done over Logan Breaky and, of course, Jacob Grant.
We only needed one attempt, and Eric Stamp, he's been having the best restarts, taking off immediately when the pace car goes into pit road. It's legal to do that move. And for this 69 team, came into this race outside of the cut line, and now has booked his ticket into round 2.
We knew this is what they needed to do. And that's exactly the way it went down. What a job for Eric Stamp in the 69 machine. The Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry gonna burn it down below the retaining wall, safer wall barrier inside of turn 1. Oh, I think he blew the motor.
Oh,
no,
it's still going.
That's hashtag fake news. It's still going. I thought he blew his engine there for a second. Celebration going on. Man.
Oh, man, what a race it was.
He's trying to practice who was it? Was it Denny Hamlin? Denny Hamlin done a burnout all the way down the front straightaway. And Eric Stamp is trying to continue to do that virtually. And he couldn't get there. Just shy of the Geico restart zone and had to stop. Here's the results tonight from Martinsville. Eric Stamp, the winner. Logan Brakey, shy, missing it, second spot. Jacob Grant, also in the race, finishing third. Evan Coleman, where did he come from? The Starburst 51 colors. He'll finish fourth. Matthew Gilliams in that Fred Lorenzen throwback, so close, and fell back on that restart, back to the top 5. Chris Smith, what a good run, Samuel, for, of course, Daddy Smith, and he finishes in 6th. Rob Sherwood 7th. Joshua Altus 8th. Caleb Smith 9th. Robbie Helms a top 10. A wild finish here at Martinsville, and that changed the scoring rundown that last restart.
Yeah, Keenan Massey going to be coming in 11th place. Matt Dyer, that Braxton DeWeese, Christian Gardner, Ross Tatum, Zach Peterson. These drivers all finishing outside the top 10. And these are not the days that they were hoping to get here from Martinsville, especially for Braxton DeWeese. He worked so hard to get back on the lead lap and got caught up in that early incident, and drivers just meleeing everywhere. Like, man, for a lot of these drivers, it's going to take a long time to recover, and you got 2 more races, Darlington, Las Vegas, to come back after this poor showing for some of these drivers.
And, of course, those results are still unofficial, pending any type of further penalties or race review calls that have to be done. But right now, that's the way it stands here in the Justin Johnson Memorial 250 at Martinsville. A quick break. When we return, we'll grab a word with our top 3. Of course, Eric Stamp, wrecking earlier, bouncing back, coming back, redemption, victory lane, and he punches his ticket into the next round of the playoffs. The playoffs of the SNB Cup Series, presented by Appalachian Hauler Hunters, continues, and we'll wrap things up for Martinsville on LSRTV in a moment. Back here at Martinsville Speedway, race number 1 of the playoffs in the books for the Justin Johnson Memorial here at the Paperclip in Virtual iRacing. Virginia, Wesley Outland, Samuel Dyer, Charles Wooten also helping out on production, but also getting things kicked off for the broadcast. When it's said and done, it is the driver of Eric Stamp redeeming himself after having problems before lap 100, and then he turns around and puts the car into victory. We'll talk to him in a moment, but first, we're going to grab a word with the top 3. Third place finisher is going to be Jacob Grant. Jacob, there was bumping, there was banging, there was gouging. Typical Martinsville. So many times you're in the hunt, but you settle on the podium for third. Your take of the race to open up the playoffs tonight.
It honestly went way better than I thought it did, surprisingly. A lot of beating and banging. That's expected here at Martinsville. A lot of it came a little too early, I think, but it's short track racing, I guess. Joey Logano, or Denny Hamlin, sorry. But I mean, everybody who raced clean and tried to be as respectful as they can, kudos to all those guys. Great win to Eric, great run for Logan. I'm glad to see him get second. Evan finished 4th. He almost had me for 3rd. Williams came back for his first race of the season and pulled off the top 5. That's really good. Chris Smith 6th. That's fantastic. His best finish of the season. So I think the race actually went better than a lot of people expected.
I mean, Jacob, just looking at the race, it looked like the hardest aspect was finding different braking zones when you went from having older tires for over 40 to 50 laps and transitioning to fresh rubber. It just seemed like everyone was a little off. How was it for you, though, transitioning from having been on older rubber to new ones under those pit stops?
You really had to back up your braking points. If you didn't, then you were just going to either get loose on entry and just slide up the track, and then the position was going to get taken from you. So you really had to be on top of your game. And the difference between fresh and old tires is tremendous. The old tires, I think we were braking right after the start-finish line going into turn 1, and with new tires, it was damn near right into turn 1 whenever we were braking. So new tires and braking felt great. I wish I could feel that even with old tires. Maybe I could have pulled off and won, but you got to play with your brake bias a lot too, so that played a big factor. And whoever didn't do that, you can tell the difference of who wasn't adjusting.
Well, Jacob, we'll let you thank your sponsors and man, your take. Moving into this playoff round. I mean, this race could have had anybody could have won this race. I mean, at one time you were in the hunt of things. Definitely some craziness. Eric Stamp got involved in a wreck, and he still rallied back, got a good finish. Logan Brakey at one time had problems. I mean, it was just very eventful here tonight at Martinsville. Thank your sponsors, and we'll see you for round 2 of the playoff next week.
First, I'd like to thank AZ Wire and Cable. Everything they do for me, they help me pay my bills. I work for those guys over there. Everybody there who watches and supports. It's always a blast to go into work the next day after racing and listening to everybody congratulate me and stuff. It's a good feeling. So I want to give a huge shout out to AZ Wire and Cable and all the guys that I work with out there watching. Tight end loose off, always being on the car. Tyler Stooksbury, his YouTube channel is fantastic. Everybody needs to go subscribe and watch and turn on his notifications and like everything that he posts. It's fantastic content. Jordan, Oakley, High Five Racing for letting me drive the 52 car again this year. It's been a blast. You guys for broadcasting. Rob and Josh for putting on an amazing series yet again for another season. Can't wait to see what next season brings. Should be fun. And everybody who supports me, my girlfriend, mom, dad, brothers, everybody who supports me. I would like to give everybody a huge thank you.
Jacob Grant finishing 3rd here tonight at Martinsville. Runner-up in the event is the driver that won Daytona, the last race of the regular season. Punched his ticket in. He was going to go in by points. But when he won the race, he moved into the number 2 seed, the number 2 car, settles for, ironically, P2 at the checkered flag. Logan Brakey, your take of a wild race at Martinsville, and obviously it's got to be a good point to stay in the playoffs for you.
Oh my God, it feels fantastic to follow up a win at Daytona last week with P2 at Martinsville. I was coming in to today just hoping for a top 10, just a solid overall day. Wesley is all I was looking for out of this, a solid points finish to get myself ahead of everybody else that I'm fighting for the championship with. And to finish P2 at 2 of the 3 short tracks this season has just been amazing. And oh God, I'm so proud, so happy for Eric. He deserves this so much. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Logan, P2, you had to start on the outside a couple of times, but man, how was it trying to even judge Eric's launches there on the restart? It just seemed like it was almost impossible to try to keep up with the leader when on these restarts.
Well, so it was favorable for me that I got to restart behind him twice, the 2 cautions prior. So I had a pretty good idea of when he was going to launch. I've also obviously been friends with him for a while, and I've known him long enough to kind of know when he was going to go. But I wasn't expecting him to go so early on that last restart, but it played hugely for me because it allowed me to get clear of Evan off of 4 and then get down and block the bottom going into 1. So him going really early on that last restart was huge. I wasn't trying to go out there and win the race. I was just trying to lock up that top 3, and oh my God, I'm just so amped.
Definitely a special win for you, definitely, man. And moving into the next round of the playoffs, what do you think you got to do different here tonight at Martinsville for the next round of the playoffs to punch your ticket, hopefully by a win besides points, to go to the next round for championship?
We had some connection issue, but I caught a little bit of that. And going next week, I think we're at Darlington, and that's a really strong.
Yep.
That's a really strong place for me. Yep. Really a track that I always take a lot of confidence to. So just gonna go out there and run the race the way I know I can. And I know I'm gonna be quick. I know I'm gonna be fast. And as you guys love to touch on so much, and it pumps my ego a little bit, just impossible to pass out there next week. So really excited for Darlington, especially after this run today. Yeah, I can't wait to get back at it, man.
Sponsor time. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to CEM Motorsports again. It was a good team day. Thanks to, I think I had quite a bit of family and friends watching today. So shout out to them if they're still listening or if they're watching back later. Shout out to you guys for broadcasting, and I want to give a big kudos to Jacob Grant too. The way he was racing me there on that green white checkered, he could have sent me up the hill and knocked me out of the top 3 a couple times. He raced me super clean at the end there. So, and of course, big shout out to Eric, my buddy Eric. Huge win for him. I'm so proud of him. That's so awesome. We're so stoked.
We'll talk to him here in just a moment. That's the runner-up. Number 2 for CEM Motorsports. Again, winner at Daytona, Logan Breaking. And now he is trying to do what he needs to do, just like his friend has done, surviving a wild race, punching his ticket now to the second round of the playoffs. That is Eric Stamp, driver of the car number 69 machine. No matter what happens at Darlington, brother, you know you're moving into the next round of the playoffs. But your take of this race tonight, and congratulations on the win. Hey, you had growing pains. At one time you were spun, bumped, banged, gouged, just typical short track racing, but you're the lone survivor at the end at the checkered flag. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Wesley. Yeah, my God, what a race. Going into this, I was just happy with the top 10 and, picking my spots and not getting the stuff. Being put or spun out and put in the wall earlier, I can't even be mad. I think it was Altice that happened with. I was racing him harder earlier, trying to get by Gardner. And so, racing happens. I'm just happy I put myself in the right spots. And I can be honest with you, I don't even know how I got to the position to be leading at the end there. It just all fell together.
Yeah, Eric, coming into the playoffs, you were Mr. Consistent. It was always top 10 finishes almost every single week that got you into the playoffs. But once you were up front, knew you were going to be starting in the first position into overtime. When you saw a bunch of smoke behind you going into turn number 1, were you worried that there was going to be another quick caution to put us into a second attempt?
honestly, once we got to the green white checkers, I wasn't too worried, just because I had, after the prior restarts, I felt extremely confident in when I launched and leaving everyone else behind. Because if there's one thing I feel like I can do well, it's just time a restart to catch everyone sleeping.
Well, this for certainly has been a very, very eventful race. Man, the company, describe Martinsville. I mean, it's just, there were times, I mean, you were turned into the wall. I mean, you thought maybe your car was too damaged or battered or banged, going into the pits, chance of going a lap down. It just typical. Just stay in the fight. I think that's the nice way of saying it. You got to stay in the fight, and I think that's what you did, and you prevailed the winner.
Yeah, that's why I love this track. I'm not the fastest here by any means, but I love that if you just focus on staying in the lead lap and putting yourself in the right spots, that's that gets you farther than being the fastest car. Because I don't know who led the most laps or who was up front early, but their misfortune was my fortune today, and it's just being patient. And it helped that I was racing respectfully with everyone throughout the race. I wasn't taking drastic lunges or trying to boot people out of the way, and especially with the 28 at the end there, we raced great all night long, and that really paid off because he was faster than me until we got that yellow that brought out the last run of cautions. But I feel like I earned his respect to race me clean, and that's what helped me hold on.
All right, brother, before we let you go, thank your sponsors. We appreciate you, man. Good job.
Yep. Mountain Dew Baja Blast, you just gotta love it. And I gotta thank Color Teal Graphics for making this paint for me. Check them out, social media. Just great artists. And yeah, man, I thank all the SNB crew for putting on a fun league, and you guys for letting everyone watch it.
A big win for the driver, of course. Eric Stamp. Whatever happens at Darlington or the final races in the opening round of the playoffs, it doesn't matter. He's punched his ticket into the next round. That's the driver of the number 69. All right, well, Matt Dyer, or Samuel Dyer, we're going to go to our other broadcast position and let these guys have a siesta, as Charles says. Thoughts of the race here tonight, man. It was a good time, a fun time, and Eric Stamp prevailing as the big winner here in the number 69 car. Yes. Yeah. Damn, you there?
This was certainly a crazy race, that was for sure. Here tonight, as I pressed the wrong button, and so that's what was going on. But for these guys here tonight, certainly was a dramatic one. It seemed like the drivers that were able to stay out of trouble and rebound after early mistakes. Great jobs for themselves. And also big props to Charles for stepping in for us when we weren't able to be in for those first 100 laps. But it was a great call late in this thing.
Yeah, I had other obligations as well, doing soccer. Go figure, for the first time ever, a soccer radio broadcast, but I think I did a pretty good job. I didn't lose my voice saying, go! So, yeah, it was a good time for sure. Hey, we're going to give you a quick teaser of one of the samples that we have coming up tonight, and that is the enhanced broadcast of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series, and that is going to be cameras on the broadcast, and you are going to see me right about now. That's a sample of just some of the work that has been going on behind the scenes, getting things prepared and ready to go for the enhanced broadcast of the Northwest iRacing Cup and Truck Series. tonight, the Copper World Classic. You do not want to miss it. We've got all sorts of great ideas. Tonight is just the starting sample of what we look to make really big coming up on Monday. Samuel Dyer, he is just thrashing to get ready to come in for tonight's race, and I totally get that. He'll be on camera here later on tonight. But Samuel, your final closing thoughts of a great race here tonight at Martinsville, and we will prepare for tonight's Northwest iRacing Truck Series event and the Copper World Classic.
Oh, yeah, I mean, tonight, a blast. Eric Stamp, the pressure is off, and he's got to be elated knowing that he doesn't have to worry about Darlington or Las Vegas. It's him preparing for round 2, and for the rest of the field, they have just squashed and got a lot closer because with Braxton DeWeese having issues, and a lot of our other front runners, everyone went from having some bubbles to now everyone's within probably 10 points of one another.
That's right. They've punched their ticket, and it should be a good one. We look forward to Darlington Raceway next Wednesday night, race number 2 in the playoffs. It should be a good one. Thank you to Jeff Stabnow and Charles Wooten on the production, everybody at Rocket Media. For Samuel Dyer, I'm Wesley Outland. You can see me as well as hear me. Congratulations to, again, Eric Stamp, winner tonight at Martinsville, the second round of the SNB Cup Series, coming to Darlington next Wednesday night. You don't want to miss it. Go to SNB Cup Series on Facebook as well as LSRTV for social media. We'll see you in about an hour for coverage of an enhanced broadcast of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series from Phoenix. Be good to one another, and please keep on praying for America, and we thank you for watching.